Live team coverage tonight in St. Charles Parish, where a person was killed, as well as Orleans, Jefferson, and St. Bernard parishes. Now, the latest update from Entergy is that more than 19,000 customers are without power right now. And there's big warning from local leaders tonight to watch out for down power lines. And they're everywhere, so you have to make sure that you're careful. So navigating those neighborhoods, it could be dangerous when you head out in the morning.
Jefferson Parish leaders also say the Westbank Expressway will be closed through the night, so you'll want to watch Eyewitness Morning News to get an update on that tomorrow.
But first, Mike McDaniel starts a team coverage tonight on the Westbank, which got hit very hard. He's in Algiers at a church that was damaged by this afternoon's storm.
Mike, you also spoke with a man who says he drove through the tornado and it picked up his car.
Yeah, just a wild scene. That path of destruction actually includes Wilts Lane here in Algiers. This pile of debris behind me is actually St. Mark Baptist Church. It's a small church that is now just collapsed brick, collapsed wood. You can see the pews there just exposed to all the elements out here. We actually had somebody come up to us about 30 minutes ago and said he was a musician who played at a funeral service here just this morning, and he was astounded at the way it looks right now. Of course, this is the type of scene that's all around this area. We've seen those images start to come out. There are also stories about people who were in the path of this storm. For one man in particular, he was inside it.
Scariest thing of my life. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I mean, I don't know what this could have been to do this.
When Michael Willis was running errands Wednesday on the Westbank, the sky got dark.
Normally you can see something coming. I promise you, I didn't hear anything or see anything.
While gathering supplies for a weekend toy giveaway through his organization H.O.P.E, Willis found himself in the path of a tornado.
This is where I was at.
Sitting in his SUV on Franklin Street in Gretna, he says the tornado lifted him up.
It happened fast, and I've never been inside of a tornado before. I'm looking at wood, buildings, all in the same spin. Like it's spinning with me, and then it gets slung me out.
Willis says he immediately started praying. What went through your mind after you knew that you were safe?
I ain't know I was safe. I thought it was coming back. Like the power wires, everything was everywhere. And then it started raining hard.
That's when he started recording this video of himself.
I don't even know what to do.
Looking at his SUV, he knows how lucky he is.
I tried to play hard for a second, and then I balled up like, nah, God, I ain't ready to go right now.
Debris smashed through his windshield and busted his passenger window. He says the tinting on the glass stopped anything from hitting him.
This tent saved my life.
Willis says he called 911 but was told it'd be a while before crews could get to him. So he took his SUV to his daughter's house in Algiers.
I drove it with my head out the window.
Able to drive and grateful to be alive. So as that story was playing, we came up here to what would be the sanctuary, and as you would have it, the Bible is still in the pews out here, so take that as a sign, if you will. Of course, much of Algiers is still in the dark tonight. You can kind of go up and down these streets and make out some of the damage, but it's really when the sun comes up tomorrow, folks will be able to see the extent of their new reality. Live in Algiers, Mike McDaniel, Eyewitness News.
Mike, thank you so much for that update. Well, that same tornado that lifted that man's car from the ground is responsible for widespread damage across the West Bank. That includes down power lines and damage to homes and businesses.
Whitney Miller continues our live team coverage tonight from Harvey. Whitney, you just heard from Jefferson Parish leaders about recovery efforts there.
Yeah, here I'm on 5th Street in Harvey, and the damage is widespread. About a 9x5 block area has been hit by this tornado, and you can see it's pitch black here, but there are some generator lights, and home after home has been damaged. I want to show you what we saw out here today. We spent much of the evening watching as families assessed that damage and gathered their belongings for the night. The Jefferson Parish president told us her team, along with the sheriff's office, did a first assessment initially right after the storm to check for victims. Now they're going back block to block, assessing structural damage and putting up generator lights. All of this in preparation for a long road ahead of recovery.
Very, very difficult night, and watching the residents just clear their house like they do. I hate to say it, after a hurricane, to watch people make little piles in front of their house on their street. They're already starting to do that, and it's very difficult to watch.
We had very minor injuries. Very, very lucky today. I had a few people transported for some scrapes and bruises. One of my deputies was actually in the tornado when his back window busted, got some glass jarring, but it's in good condition from that standpoint.
And that's the big takeaway, that there weren't very many victims in this, except for, of course, the damage to these homes. The president said she spoke with Entergy. She said that they are working on critical infrastructure first that needs attention. And then when it comes to schools, already parents should know that West Jefferson High and Marrero Middle School, those are already been deemed closed because of damage to those buildings. Other closures could be on the way because of electricity, and that's being assessed now. And they say as soon as they know which schools will be closed, they will send emails to parents. And then finally, the sheriff says, if you don't belong in this area, then you shouldn't be here. There are deputies at most intersections with flashing lights, turning people away who don't belong in this neighborhood. For now, live in Harvey, Whitney Miller, Eyewitness News.
Whitney, thank you so much. One person did lose their life in today's storms when a tornado touched down in Kelowna in St. Charles Parish.
And we're also hearing from people in that parish who survived. We spoke to a woman who actually had been living in the trailer next to her home. Heartbreaking story here because the house was still damaged from Hurricane Ida. Well, she saw that tornado coming, so she and her family ran into her house, which is still under construction, and took cover in a bathtub.
I was sitting in the house, and our cell phones in the trailer, and our cell phones went off. And I said, Devon, we got to get out of here. There's a tornado. And he said, the sirens didn't go off. I said, I don't care. There's a tornado. We got to go. And we ran out the trailer, and we could see it coming across the levee. As soon as we got in the house, we got in the bathroom, in the tub, and our ears started popping, and everything was gone, and everything was falling on us. And we just held on to each other and prayed. We just prayed.
That absolutely breaks my heart, but we are happy to report that they were not hurt.
Unfortunately, as we mentioned, another family did lose someone in that tornado. Lily Cummings is live in Kelowna. Lily, it has been a rough day for people in St. Charles Parish.
Devin, it definitely has, and if you look behind me here, you might be able to see a set of stairs, an air conditioner, some debris, and tree limbs that are down. But when I talked to a deputy about 30 minutes ago asking him what exactly am I looking at here, he told me you're looking at about 3 individual trailer homes that were completely wiped away. At 2:12 p.m., the tornado struck.
And I'm like, oh my God, is this what I think this is or whatever? And it just got louder and it got louder or whatever. And I just closed the door and I went back in my room and I sat down on the bed, just, praying, just like, Lord, just, let us get through this.
Some would, others would not. According to the St. Charles Sheriff's Office, a 56-year-old woman was found dead outside her home in Kelowna.
Mom knew her good. My brothers or whatever, my son, they knew her or whatever like that. She, they say she was a sweet, kind lady. She'll do anything, for anybody.
The sheriff says the tornado carved its path from the small town of Kelowna, then jumped the river to Muntz.
We have 8 people who have reported to the hospital in Luling, St. Charles Hospital, with injuries which I'm told are non-life threatening. There also were a couple of homes damaged in Muntz. I'm not aware of any injuries that were reported there.
The storm left cars flipped over and homes torn apart.
We literally had to come in and chainsaw our way through trees to get onto the roads to try to do recovery and life-saving measures that we could.
Officials say at least 10 power poles were down in Kelowna.
They're probably not going to get power on in this community tonight. Maybe parts of it tomorrow, but that's probably not going to happen tonight.
Deputies will be patrolling the area overnight to protect properties, as the parish president, Matthew Jewell, urged residents to seek assistance at their shelter in Luling.
If residents do need a place to go to just get out of the weather, we are asking them to go to the Edward A. Dufresne Community Center. If they need transportation to the community center, we ask that they go ahead and call the EOC.
A small community now working to overcome a big loss. And if you're a St. Charles Parish resident in need of that help tonight, you can call this number. It's 985-783-5050. Again, if you are in need of help tonight in St. Charles Parish, that's 985-783-5050. Reporting live from St. Charles Parish, Lily Cummings, Eyewitness News.